Hello, hello. It's been a minute since I hopped on live, so it was put on me to get on live and do a video really super duper quick. I want to see if I can send a link and still be on live. Cool. Okay, I did it. Okay. Hello, everyone. I hope y'all can hear me. I'm going to project my voice just in case you can't. Welcome or welcome back to the Ancient Kitchen, where I do my best to inspire you with nutritious, dense foods, very ancient foods. So come on into the kitchen. This is a live, like I said before. It's been a little while, and it's been a while since I've had some content on here, so it's so easy to just hop on live. This doesn't have to be edited. I could just send a link and then people come join on. So today I'm a little late with dinner, so I'm gonna make this super duper quick as I possibly can. Today I am making a part of dinner that we're gonna have. And the main star for this is walnut meat. I already took the time to blend it. Look at that. So a lot of you may be familiar that people who opt for a plant-based lifestyle, they can usually use beans and different types of nuts and seeds and other meat alternatives instead of having meat, and walnuts is one of those, a great substitute for meat. It's been some trial and error with this one. The reason you see it so fine, because I find that blending it to this consistency is a lot reminiscent of ground meat. So look at that. This isn't the finished product. What I did was soaked whole walnuts for the most of the day. You usually want to soak nuts prior to eating them because it gets rid of something called phytic acid. Phytic acid is an enzyme inhibitor, meaning that if we eat that nut straight up, hi, hey everybody. So if we eat that nut straight up, the phytic acid inhibits us from being able to digest the food. So that's why you want to soak it, because it gets rid of that phytic acid. Once again, this is Ancient Kitchen. Everybody coming in. I'm doing great. How are y'all? I hope y'all ready, because I'm about to cook. So, like I said, a lot of plant-based people use walnuts as an alternative to ground meat or ground beef. So I'm making Jamaican patties, but I'm only going to show the meat. This is walnuts. No, that's the sprinkler. That's the sprinkler. Don't do that. Okay, let's get started. Okay. So I got my pan already heating. Welcome to the Ancient Kitchen, y'all. Just an impromptu video of making some walnut meat. So here, when you're using like nuts, it does have the bite of a nut. Even when you soak it, it can still be chewy. So what I'm gonna do is cook it down so it can be softer, reminiscent of ground meat. Some benefits for walnuts: it has omega-3s, something called ALA, which is the highest form of omega-3s, higher than salmon. And what that does is reduces inflammation in the body. So anytime there's a dis-ease in the body, is because the body is inflamed in some sort of way. There's some sort of swelling, there's some sort of blockage that's not allowing normal function in the body. So walnuts help stop the inflammation because it has the omegas in it. It helps with the brain as well for the same reason. It has antioxidants in it, which helps with oxidative stress in the brain. So the brain can be clogged up. The brain can go through, as we age, go through cognitive deterioration, basically losing our memory, losing certain things that we used to have when we were young. So this is the fountain of youth for real, walnuts. So I got the pan hot, but I'm gonna crank it up just a little bit more. I'm not gonna be before y'all too long. And you're gonna need water for this because it soaks up everything too. But I put coconut oil in the pan just to get us started. Thank you. Yes, and I got my seasonings too. Y'all are great. Yes, vegan Jamaican patties. I'm not going to make the whole video because, like I said, I'm already late for dinner and my son's waiting. But I'm going to show y'all how I do the walnut meat. All right. So this has already been soaked. I put it in my blender. I have a Vitamix blender to crush it down very, very fine. So it's minced meat. Can y'all see it? All right. It's going to take a while for it to cook down. But I'm going to add some onions and bell pepper. And that's going to cook down with it. You'll find that the nuts start to stick to the pan. That's cool. You could just add water. You don't want to put too much oil in this because the walnuts have its own natural oil. All right, look at that. That looks like ground turkey, right? It's very similar to real meat. It depends on how you season it. So today, I'm using some jerk seasoning. I made some green sauce. This is cilantro, lime, green onion, ginger, garlic, celery, and I think green pepper, and probably a little bit of thyme. So that's going to go in there as well to season it. It's all about the flavors, because when you eat meat, now I'm not saying you can't eat meat. I'm not a vegan. I'm not advocating for that. What I'm saying is, when you're doing alternative foods, though, the same way you wouldn't just straight up have ground turkey from the pack. You got to season that thing up. Same thing with the walnut meat. We're going to season it up just like I was making some ground beef, ground turkey. Thank you. Thank you. Blessings, y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming on. I hope y'all try this. And I'm going to do my best to put the end result of the patties on my page. This is the Ancient Kitchen. Walnuts, I'm sure, are super duper ancient. I didn't look up how ancient it is, but when we stick with original food, it's the best for us. Whole original food. And the beautiful thing about a walnut, it looks like a brain. So the humor and cleverness of God to attach certain foods, like this helps with your brain, this helps with your heart. And walnuts does all of that. It helps with cholesterol, helps prevent heart disease, all of that amazing stuff. So I'm just letting it cook down because the onions and the bell pepper needs to cook down as well. So I'm going to go ahead and season it. I have garlic powder. Huge thing of garlic powder. Necessary. Huge. Like I only use the big one. This one, no. You need to use the big one. Some garlic powder. I'm gonna get a spoon for the jerk because my son doesn't like spices, so I don't want to put too much of the jerk seasoning in there, but enough because it adds good flavor. And then the green sauce, the green seasoning. And even as you add seasoning, it'll make it get darker too. Hello. Yes, it does. The ancient kitchen? Oh, great question. So it's like a two-part. I have another facet of media, so to speak, and it's called Bara Ashat. Bara Ashat just simply means in the beginning in Hebrew. So the ancient kitchen was birthed off of the concept from Genesis 1 verse 29 that God gave us fruit bearing seeds and herbs. So that concept of the original food is what birthed the ancient kitchen. We don't fail aligning back to ancient foods, ancient preparations, these things that people use to either preserve food, to make food turn into a whole different product. A lot of these things are ancient, and you don't get processed foods when you're doing, I should say, ultra processed foods when you go with the ancient type of lifestyle. So I know there's a lot of fad diets out there, and whatever, to each his own, whatever works for each person. But what we do here is to align us back to the ancient path in every way, because that brings us closer to an original state. And that's my dissertation on the name for the ancient kitchen. Great question. Thank you. Yes, the concept of being ancient practices, ancient values. We've gotten away from the ancient path in more ways than one, more than just food. So all things ancient. Ancient ideals, because the original way is the best way. Ancient is original. All right, I'm gonna add some more water to this. It smells good. It smells like barbecue. And I'm gonna add some marinara. I'm not making this like a tomato sauce. It's just for the flavor. So you don't need that much. And I'm just chopping it up like I would some ground turkey. I don't know if y'all can tell, but it's getting brown. I'm adding coconut aminos. This also adds a nice meaty flavor. If you go to Trader Joe's, they have a lower sodium brand as well. This is the lowest sodium I've seen coconut aminos be. This is an alternative for soy sauce. In our house, we don't like to use any soy. It just has a high concentration of phytoestrogens, and naturally, me being a woman, I have enough estrogen produced. My son doesn't need any imbalance with that, so I opt for the coconut aminos because of that. And we're making some ground walnut meat. Thoughts on coffee? Coffee is a natural organic coffee, can be decent. It can induce a good bowel movement, which is positive. On the other side, it's a stimuli. So the caffeine content, longevity wise, our body can get addicted to that. Also, if I'm not mistaken, it's a diuretic, so it dehydrates the body. So because we're mostly water, anything that dehydrates the body may not be the best in the long run. Personally, I used to drink iced coffee in college faithfully. But I remember I said to myself, I don't want to get addicted to coffee, so I need to stop. And then recently I had it again because I needed to be up for some things, and I remember feeling myself getting sick, like I was about to get a cold, because I can feel that it was making me susceptible for bacteria around me. So those are my thoughts on coffee. It's good to move about if you need to do that, but as far as the day-to-day basis for longevity, there's some alternatives like tea. It has lower concentration. If you do a black tea or a green tea, it tends to have lower concentration of caffeine, but I usually don't do that either. But they do have mushroom coffee. And you can get a mushroom coffee that doesn't have any caffeine. And that has adaptogens, which are mood boosters and other good immunity boosting properties. So those are my thoughts on coffee. Look at this, y'all. Decaf coffee. That's like low-fat yogurt to me. Like, what did they do to make this low-fat? Like, if it goes through a process from its original state, you might as well just have the original, right? That's like low-fat yogurt or low-fat milk to me. Can y'all see that? Look at that. That's meat. I'm gonna bring it closer. If y'all were here from the beginning, y'all know what it looked like before, right? So I'm gonna let it cook down some more, but that's it. When you're doing this lifestyle, it does take some prep work. Like, I had to soak the nuts prior to, because like I said before, nuts can have something called phytic acid on it, which is an enzyme inhibitor. Basically, that means the enzyme that would break this down for us to absorb it, it inhibits that. So we need to get rid of that so we can absorb the nutrients. Because enzymes are vital to absorbing nutrients. I'm going to let this cook down, and like I said, I'm going to do my best to put up a picture of the patties when they're done. But that's it. That's all. I want this to be a little bit more soft, but just so I don't bore y'all, I'm not going to hold y'all too much longer. I just want to thank you all so much for coming on this live. You could have been anywhere, but you're here with your girl. So that's what's up.
Hello.
All right.
Hello. Hello.
All right, Nazir, go sit down. Figure skating. I don't really have an opinion on figure skating, but I want to thank you all so much. Just want to... We're making some walnut meat, ground walnut meat for Jamaican patties. Yep. All right. But thank you all so much for coming and joining in this live. I hope that you get a chance to try this out. You don't have to do it how I did it. Like I said, I'm making it for patis. You can put anything you want. This is the seasonings that I wanted to do. And yeah. I hope you all remember that you all are original beings in original state. So come on to the ancient kitchen to get some more nourishment in your life. Be blessed, y'all.